Guys, breaking news. We are not ready for electric cars. Here's why. Hey guys, welcome to this channel. I'm Eddie V. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click the notification bell. Let's continue with this video. So, we are not ready for electric cars, let's say to go 100% electric. And we probably won't be for the next, I want to say minimum 20 to 50 years, minimum. Maybe even 100. And here's some of the logical reasons why we're not ready to go 100% electric on cars and semi-trucks or electric vehicles combined. So, reason number one is power grid issues. It's weird. California literally said that they want to make everything electric by 2030 or whatever year they came up with, and I forgot the year, but it was just funny. And the next day or so, the news in California also came out as they advise Americans living in California to try to use less electricity because their power grid can't handle the amount of electricity being used in California. You know why? Because California does not use nuclear power plants or anything that can pollute the air. So basically, they're all on solar power panels or wind power to produce electricity. That's California. And I literally been there on Highway 15. There is right when you enter California state line, there is a huge solar power panels everywhere. Now, besides the point, that other thing where they get their electricity from, which is California are hypocrites because of that, is literally they get their electricity from Arizona and Nevada, and that electricity is made by actually causing pollution. So there you have it. So yeah, so we're not ready because we have power grid issues. Second thing, guys, charge times are too long. Most of us Americans want to fuel in 5 minutes, get your receipt or whatnot, and get out. Charge times are usually, if you have 10-15 minute fast charge, it only lasts you about 100 miles, and to get the full charge, you need to sit there for probably a good hour to 2 hours, from my understanding of electric vehicles. So basically, guys, charge times are way too long. Third thing, guys, is the fact that the batteries die like cell phones. If you ever think about it, sooner or later you need to change that battery on the Tesla, and it's going to cost you more than changing an engine on a mechanical car. Basically, guys, maintenance costs, we're not ready for it. Until it's downsized, we won't be ready to maintain an electric car when they start breaking down. The electric motors, the batteries, and all that good stuff that ties in with it. Also, guys, what another thing is, we cannot get batteries straightened out with Tesla. If you ever seen an electric car or Tesla burn when it catches on fire, it's impossible to extinguish because those batteries will keep on igniting and going on fire. Basically, guys, until car manufacturers come out with a battery that won't burn after you try to extinguish it, we're gonna still have that problem. Also, guys, about batteries, here's another way. We have a problem to make them. If they want to go 100% electric, we do not have enough resources to make that many batteries to supply millions of cars around, say, US and the world. I want to say US. We do not have the resources for that. And also, guys, when the batteries start going bad, the pollution of trying to take care of the bad batteries is way worse than what's coming out of the exhaust. And even way worse than what's coming out of the exhaust of a diesel truck that doesn't have any emissions attached to it. So black smoke coming out of the truck is not as harmful as trying to take care of a battery that is decomposing and rotting and causing pollution, and no good way to store it, or creating special junkyards for that battery. So we're not ready for that. We haven't even found a way to recycle them properly. Also, guys, is the fact that it's going to cost trillions of dollars to have electric charging stations like gas stations. So every gas station now has to be converted for a mass production, or a mass, let's say, instead of fuel pumps, electric stations like fuel pumps in every corner. And that's going to be hard. That's going to be trillions of dollars to do that. And not every gas station owner is going to want to go 100% electric. So that's your issue there. Also, guys, another issue is price. Just to buy one costs more than to buy a cheap and reliable beater car that runs you from A to B or from home to work every day. Now, guys, the cost to charge electric car is not cheap either. I mean, it's cheaper than gas right now. Yes, it is, if you go to a charging station. But at your own house, depending where you live, it could be $100 a night just to charge your Tesla or electric car. And don't get me wrong, it's cheaper than buying gas for your car. But if you live in an expensive area, it might be cheaper to buy gas for your car than it is to charge your electric car every night at your house, unless you go at a charging station where it's cheap because you bought a car brand new. Also, guys, what we're not ready for is the fact that everyone loves to travel. Okay, when people travel out of state, they need power stations. But also, besides that point, the range is not long enough. They claim 300 something miles. You turn on the AC, you play music, that 300 miles quickly becomes to maybe even 150. So yes, guys, it is definitely an issue until we figure out how to make, let's say, at least a 450 mile range or a 400 mile range with music playing, air conditioning playing, or heat playing, on. We will not have a decent range out of an electric vehicle. Now, another thing we got to figure out, guys, is how to make it more practical. They're all super ridiculously fast. And practical, I mean, is for the car guys, now I'm going, is the fact that after a certain speed or certain drag distance that you're racing, all that torque is gone, and an ICE car will definitely smoke you. They proved it in Motor Trend when one of their producers or test car drivers did a drag race on a half a mile. The quarter mile Tesla won. On a half a mile, a Dodge Challenger Hellcat smoked the Tesla in a half mile race. Another thing that we got to figure out, guys, think about it. This is just practical and like just logical thoughts. Okay, listen to this. Your cell phone, stick that thing outside in the cold and we'll see how long your battery lasts. Same thing with any car battery, like regular starter car battery. You stick it outside in the cold long enough and that battery is done. It needs a jump. So think about it, guys. If you're ever stuck in an electric car in traffic in the wintertime, just be ready. Your car may not work if it sits there long enough. Just saying. Or the battery may die faster. And here's another thing to add to the thought. Software issues. They say it can't be hacked. Well, how come there's YouTubers out there that their Tesla locked them in when they were inside and couldn't get out? That is one thing we got to worry about until we figure out how you, the owner, can control the car yourself with software instead of have someone that can hack it and tell you what to do. We're definitely not going to be ready for electric cars. Now, on the positive note, I think I know what's going to be happening with electric cars. I think instead of mechanical engine supercars, even though they're very, very fast, we're actually going to see more and more and more electric hypercars and supercars for the rich and famous people to buy and own. Why? Because I think it's practical. You want the fastest car in the world? Why not? What's better than an electric car? You're going to beat everyone in the street. You're not really going to go drag racing, and you're going to show off your expensive piece of artwork. Now, guys, with that being said, I still do not 100% like electric cars. Would I like to drive one? Yes, I would. And if Elon Musk's or any of the owners of electric cars sees this video, hey, please, I'd be glad to come and review one of your electric cars and see how I like it, because I've never driven one or rode on one, so I'd love to do it. But I don't like them for one reason, because they don't make a sound. And if you do have a mechanical engine sound, it's fake, and I hate fake sound. Now, guys, personally, I think we'll never ever get rid of the internal combustion engine on a vehicle. Personally, I think we're getting better at making them more fuel efficient and faster, and I think someday they will be better than electric car, because electric car right now is going to have a whole bunch of problems that we are not ready for. All right, guys, this was Eddie V signing off. I'll see you next time. Not canceled. Guys, I'm Eddie V. 2004 turn right. This particular package, drive an attempt on the 6 Series.